Imagine this. What if investing just $15 every week could become the decision that changes your financial future? It may sound hard to believe. After all, $15 is something many people spend without even noticing. A quick meal, a cup of coffee, or an online subscription can easily cost that much. But what if, instead of spending it, you invested that same $15 every single week? Not because you found a secret investment, not because you got lucky, but because you allowed time, consistency, and compound growth to work together. Meet Jake. Jake is an ordinary person with an ordinary job. He pays his bills, manages a budget, and tries to save whenever he can. For years, he believed investing was only for people with lots of money. Then he realized something that changed everything. You don't need thousands of dollars to start investing. You simply need the discipline to begin. So Jake made one small commitment. Every week, no matter what the market was doing, he invested $15 into quality dividend-paying companies. The beginning wasn't exciting. His portfolio grew slowly. The dividends were small. Some weeks, it felt like nothing was happening. But behind the scenes, something powerful was taking place. Every dividend purchased more shares. Those new shares generated even more dividends. Little by little, his portfolio started growing on its own through the power of compounding. Jake wasn't chasing quick profits or trying to predict the market. He was building a system that rewarded patience instead of emotion. And that's exactly what many successful long-term investors have done for decades. In this video, you'll discover how a simple $15 weekly investment could potentially grow into a powerful dividend portfolio over time. Why dividend reinvestment is one of the most effective long-term investing strategies, and how consistency can outperform trying to time the market. If you're ready to learn how small weekly investments can create meaningful wealth over the years, let's get started. You work hard every single day. You wake up early, go to work, spend long hours earning money, and repeat the same routine week after week. But have you ever stopped and asked yourself one important question? What if your money could work just as hard as you do? The truth is, there are only so many hours you can work. Your time is limited, but money doesn't need to sleep. It can continue growing, day after day, year after year, if it's invested wisely. Many people believe that becoming wealthy requires a six-figure salary, a successful business, or simply getting lucky. But history tells a different story. Some of the world's most successful investors built their wealth by following one simple habit: investing consistently and staying patient. Imagine owning small pieces of hundreds of successful companies. Every time people buy groceries, order products online, use technology, or visit popular stores, many of those businesses continue generating profits. As those companies grow over time, your investment has the opportunity to grow with them. This is why many long-term investors choose diversified investments like index funds. Instead of trying to predict which single company will become the next big winner, they invest in the overall market and let time do most of the work. The biggest mistake people make is waiting for the perfect moment. They keep saying, "I'll start next month. I'll invest when I earn more. I'll begin after the market drops." But those months slowly turn into years, and valuable time is lost. Successful investors understand something different. They know that time in the market is often more important than timing the market. Even investing a small amount every month can become surprisingly powerful over the long run. That's because of compound growth. Your investment earns returns, and then those returns begin earning their own returns. Over time, this creates a snowball effect that becomes larger and faster as the years pass. Think about planting a tiny seed. At first, it doesn't look impressive, but with patience, water, and time, it grows into a strong tree. Investing works in a very similar way. Small, consistent actions today can create extraordinary results years from now. The goal isn't to become rich overnight. The goal is to build lasting wealth step by step. Every monthly investment is another brick in the foundation of your financial future. Every year of patience brings you one step closer to financial freedom. The earlier you begin, the greater your advantage becomes. Remember, wealth is rarely created by one big decision. It's created by hundreds of small, smart decisions repeated over many years. If you can master consistency and stay patient, you're already following the same mindset used by many successful long-term investors. And that single habit could completely change your financial future. There's one lesson that separates people who build wealth from those who spend their entire lives chasing money. It's not about earning more. It's about making your money work for you. Think about two people with exactly the same income. One spends every extra dollar on things that lose value. The other consistently invests a portion of every paycheck into long-term assets. 5 years later, the difference may seem small. 10 years later, it becomes noticeable. 20 years later, the gap can be life-changing. That's the incredible power of consistency. The truth is, wealth is usually built quietly. There are no fireworks. There are no shortcuts. There are no secret formulas. Instead, it's built through small decisions, repeated month after month and year after year. Successful investors understand something that many people ignore. Every dollar has the potential to become an employee. Instead of spending every dollar immediately, they put some of their money to work. Those invested dollars begin earning returns. Then those returns begin earning even more returns. Over time, this creates one of the most powerful forces in personal finance: compound growth. Imagine planting a tiny seed. For weeks, it looks like almost nothing is happening, but beneath the surface, strong roots are growing. Years later, that tiny seed becomes a tree providing shade, fruit, and strength. Investing follows the same principle. Small beginnings can lead to extraordinary outcomes. Of course, the journey isn't always easy. Markets rise, markets fall. News headlines create fear. Economic uncertainty appears from time to time. Many beginners panic during these moments. They sell because they're afraid. But experienced investors understand that market ups and downs are a normal part of long-term investing. Instead of making emotional decisions, they stay focused on their plan. They continue investing. They remain patient. And they allow time to do its job. Remember, investing isn't about getting rich next month. It's about creating freedom for the future. Freedom to choose how you spend your time. Freedom to support your family. Freedom to retire with confidence instead of worry. Those dreams aren't created by luck. They're created through discipline. Every monthly investment is another step forward. Every year of patience strengthens your future. Every smart financial decision brings you closer to the life you truly want. The biggest mistake isn't choosing the wrong investment. The biggest mistake is never starting at all. Because while you're waiting for the perfect opportunity, time keeps moving forward. And time is one thing you'll never get back. Start with what you can afford. Stay consistent. Ignore the short-term noise. Focus on the long-term goal. Years from now, your future self will be thankful that you made the decision to begin today. Because true wealth isn't built in a single day. It's built one investment, 1 month, and one smart decision at a time. By now, you might be wondering something important. If building wealth is really this simple, why doesn't everyone become financially free? The answer is simple. Most people know what they should do. Very few people actually stay consistent long enough to see the results. We live in a world that rewards instant gratification. People want quick profits. They want overnight success. They want to double their money in a few weeks. But real wealth doesn't usually work that way. The greatest investors understand that patience is one of the most valuable financial skills anyone can develop. Think about the biggest companies in the world. They didn't become successful overnight. They spent years growing, improving, and creating value. Long-term investing follows the same principle. As businesses grow, investors who stay patient often benefit from that growth over time. Another important habit is ignoring the daily noise. Every single day, you'll see news headlines predicting market crashes, economic problems, or financial uncertainty. If you react emotionally to every headline, you'll constantly make decisions based on fear instead of logic. Successful investors don't chase every trend. They don't panic every time prices fall. Instead, they stick to their long-term strategy because they understand that temporary setbacks are often just a normal part of the journey. Remember, every market correction in history has eventually become another chapter in a much longer story. That's why discipline is often more valuable than intelligence. You don't need to predict the future. You don't need to be a financial genius. You simply need a plan and the discipline to follow it. Imagine investing a fixed amount every month for 20 or 30 years. Some months you'll buy when prices are high. Other months you'll buy when prices are lower. Over time, this consistent approach can reduce the stress of trying to perfectly time the market. This is why successful investing is often more about behavior than knowledge. The people who win are usually the people who refuse to quit. So don't focus on becoming rich overnight. Focus on becoming financially stronger every single year. One smart decision, one monthly investment, 1 year of patience at a time. Because when you look back years from now, you'll realize that the small choices you made today became the foundation of your financial freedom. And that's how lasting wealth is truly built. At this point, you already understand one of the biggest secrets of building wealth. It's not about making one perfect decision. It's about making smart decisions consistently. Many people spend years searching for the perfect investment. They wait for the perfect time. They wait for the perfect market. They wait until they have more money. But while they're waiting, time keeps moving forward. And time is the most valuable asset an investor has. The earlier you begin, the more opportunity your money has to grow. Even small investments made consistently can become surprisingly powerful over many years. That's because every year gives your investments more time to compound. Think of it like building a house. You don't finish it in one day. You lay one brick at a time, month after month, year after year. Eventually, those small steps become something strong and lasting. Building wealth follows the same process. Every investment is another brick. Every smart financial decision strengthens your future. Every dollar you invest today is working quietly behind the scenes. While you sleep, work, or spend time with your family, your investments continue building toward your future goals. This is why consistency is far more powerful than chasing quick wins. Of course, there will always be challenges. The market won't move up every day. Some years will be exciting. Others will test your patience. There will be moments when fear causes many people to stop investing. But successful investors understand that temporary setbacks are simply part of a much longer journey. Instead of giving up, they stay focused on their goals. They continue learning. They continue investing. And they trust the process. They know that short-term uncertainty has never stopped long-term progress. Financial success isn't reserved for a small group of lucky people. It's available to anyone willing to stay disciplined and think long-term. You don't need extraordinary talent. You don't need perfect timing. You don't need to predict every market move. You simply need consistency. Imagine where your life could be 10, 20, or even 30 years from now if you start making smart financial decisions today. Imagine looking back and realizing that the small choices you made today completely changed your future. The future you dream about begins with the choices you make right now. So start where you are. Invest what you can. Stay patient during difficult times. Celebrate your progress along the way. Keep learning, keep growing, and never forget that true wealth is built slowly, one decision at a time. The journey may take years, but every step brings you closer to financial freedom. Your future starts today. Now, let's bring everything together. Building wealth isn't about being lucky. It's about following a simple system, consistently, for a long time. Most people think becoming wealthy requires a huge income or a lucky break. But in reality, lasting wealth is built through smart habits repeated over many years. Start by living below your means. Spend less than you earn. Avoid unnecessary debt whenever possible. The less money you lose to interest payments, the more you can invest for your future. Build an emergency fund so unexpected expenses don't force you to sell your investments. Once that foundation is in place, invest consistently. Whether it's every week or every month, make investing a habit instead of waiting for the perfect time. The perfect moment rarely comes. Successful investors understand that consistency is more important than perfect timing. Let compound interest do the heavy lifting. Reinvest your earnings. Give your investments time to grow. Year after year, your money begins working harder for you. At first, the progress may seem slow, but with patience, small investments can grow into something remarkable. Most importantly, never stop learning. Read books. Study successful investors. Understand how money really works. The more knowledge you gain, the better financial decisions you'll make. Remember, every wealthy person started somewhere. They didn't begin with millions of dollars. They started with one decision, to invest in their future. You can make that same decision today. Don't compare your beginning to someone else's success. Focus on improving one step at a time. Small actions repeated consistently create extraordinary results. There will be times when progress feels slow. Keep going. Every investment brings you one step closer to your goals. Financial freedom isn't reserved for a lucky few. It's available to anyone willing to stay patient, disciplined, and committed to the process. The best day to start was yesterday. The second best day is today. So begin your journey now. Start with what you have. Invest what you can. Keep learning. Stay disciplined. Trust the process. One day, you'll look back and realize that the simple habits you started today became the foundation of the life you always wanted. Your future wealth depends on the choices you make today.